Ukraine shocks Russian military, destroys $25 million Tor M2DT Arctic air defense system and takes out 2 Russian servicemen. U.S. shocks the world, takes down Chinese surveillance balloon in epic mid-air battle, Biden and Austin lead charge. Ukraine triumphs, 1,762 prisoners freed from Russian captivity. Enjoy watching and don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss out on important news. Ukrainian artillery and navy have destroyed a second Tor M2D Arctic short-range air defense missile system, the pride of the Russian military and worth $25 million, the Ukrainian Navy reported on Telegram on February 4th. Artillery military units and units of the Naval Infantry Command of Ukraine delivered fire on the invaders, destroying a Tor M2DT anti-aircraft missile system and 2 Russian servicemen, the Navy's message reads. The final enemy losses are being verified. Tor M2DT Arctic short-range air defense missile system is especially designed for use in extremely cold temperatures. The first batch of these systems were delivered to the Russian Army in 2018 and were first used in 2019. A division of these combat vehicles was supplied to the Russian Ministry of Defense. The modernized target detection station is allegedly capable of detecting aircraft that use stealth technology. Over the 345 days of the full-scale war in Ukraine, Russia has lost about 130,590 of its soldiers, including 720 occupiers killed by the Ukrainian armed forces in the past day alone. The U.S. has shot down a Chinese surveillance balloon off the coast of South Carolina as multiple assets have entered the area to recover its debris. The saga that began with the balloon's appearance high above Billings, Montana, on February 1st reached its climax Saturday with an explosion and the balloon's subsequent fall from high altitude. Videos of the shoot-down showed an F-22 Raptor launching an air-to-air missile at the balloon for the kill. This would be the F-22's first kill. In a statement after the shoot-down, Secretary of Defense General Lloyd J. Austin III said fighters assigned to U.S. Northern Command shot down a high-altitude surveillance balloon launched by and belonging to the People's Republic of China, PRC, over the water off the coast of South Carolina in U.S. airspace. On Wednesday, President Biden gave his authorization to take down the surveillance balloon as soon as the mission could be accomplished without undue risk to American lives under the balloon's path, Austin said. After careful analysis, U.S. military commanders had determined downing the balloon while over land posed an undue risk to people across a wide area due to the size and altitude of the balloon and its surveillance payload. Today's deliberate and lawful action demonstrates that President Biden and his national security team will always put the safety and security of the American people first while responding effectively to the PRC's unacceptable violation of our sovereignty. Austin also thanked the Canadian government for its assistance in tracking the balloon in its part of North American Aerospace Defense Command. In remarks to the press pool, President Biden confirmed he ordered the balloon shot down on Wednesday once it could be done without risk of collateral damage. KC-135 Stratotanker refueling aircraft, as well as F-22 Raptors, were observed loitering in the area, along with a U.S. Navy P-8 Poseidon patrol aircraft. A U.S. Coast Guard HC-130 search and rescue plane also flew off Wilmington. The F-22s flew with the call signs Frank 01 and Frank 02, a possible homage to World War I flying ace and U.S. Army Air Service Medal of Honor recipient First Lieutenant Frank Luke Jr., better known as the Arizona Balloon Buster. Earlier Saturday, the Federal Aviation Administration ordered a ground stop at 3 airports in the Carolinas for national security initiatives and imposed a temporary flight restriction, TFR, for a swath of airspace off the coast as the balloon approached the coastline. The FAA's closure halted flight operations at Charleston International Airport, Myrtle Beach International Airport, and Wilmington International Airport. These moves and increased military air activity came after President Joe Biden said, "We are going to take care of it," earlier Saturday in Syracuse, New York, when asked about the balloon. The FAA ended its temporary flight restriction and ground stops just after 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Yesterday, the war zone concluded that the balloon would likely be taken down in national airspace just off the East Coast by F-22s. This would allow it to fall into the sea and for aerial weapons employment without risks to bystanders and property below. It would also allow for waiting vessels to work to collect pieces of the balloon and its payload. Shooting the balloon down inside national airspace also makes it less of an issue than in international airspace. Ukraine has managed to release 1,762 Ukrainian men and women from enemy captivity since the beginning of Russia's full-scale war against Ukraine, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said during his nightly address to the nation on February 4th. In total, as of February 24th, our team has managed to return 1,762 Ukrainian men and women from Russian captivity, Zelensky said, giving the official total of those returned. "And I also thank everyone who is involved in helping these people of ours after their return," the head of state said. Ukraine and Russia conducted a new exchange of prisoners on February 4th, with another 116 Ukrainians being returned from Russian captivity. They including defenders of Mariupol, Kherson partisans, and snipers from the Bakhmut section of the front. In addition, Ukraine recovered the bodies of 2 dead foreign volunteers, as well as the body of a dead volunteer soldier, authorities said. Ukraine's government has not revealed how many Russian soldiers it has in captivity. Generally, prisoner swaps of soldiers have been conducted on a one-for-one basis. According to a Belgian news report, there are around 500 prisons in Ukraine holding Russian prisoners of war. Footage from the prison showed several dozen Russian prisoners exercising in a yard and eating in a prison canteen. Ukraine claims to have killed 131,290 Russian soldiers, including 700 in the last day alone, since Moscow launched its full-scale invasion on February 24th. The figures are impossible to verify, but footage released by Ukrainian military sources show the Russians taking heavy casualties in the east of the country, where fighting is currently fiercest. Ukraine has set up a hotline called I Want to Live, through which Russian troops can arrange their safe surrender to Ukrainian forces. Video of Russian troops surrendering and being guided to Ukrainian lines by a drone has circulated on social media. Ukraine's government claims 6,543 Russian soldiers have used the I Want to Live hotline, with the organization receiving 50 to 100 messages from Russian soldiers every day, the UK's Guardian newspaper reported on January 26.